LaMelo is up late night balling, up early balling all the time. One of the reasons that the Wolves are so scarred is a rookie that they should have taken is LaMelo Ball. And LaMelo Ball is fucking balling. We talked a little bit about the Hornets earlier as one of the 3 teams that have become very, very fun to watch. And a lot of that is because of LaMelo.
Yeah, I mean, he's so precise with everything he does, and that's something I really try to look for in young players, like the precision with passing. And he's affecting the game not in a way that a lot of rookies come in and just put up good stats on middling teams like a la like Michael Carter-Williams. Like, he's actually really improved that team's level of play, and you can see it everywhere, all over the floor.
Everywhere. You can see it with players who were not doing shit, who now all of a sudden are performing like that franchise expected them to when they were drafted. And we'll get there. So what do we know about LaMelo? He's been in the spotlight since he was 14 years old. He is Lonzo Ball's little brother, and Lonzo Ball was balling at UCLA, right? And LaMelo was like 14, putting up 92 points in a high school basketball game.
Yeah, there was that clip of him pulling up from half court where he was pointing at the line. He had that dumb hair.
He had the dumb hair. It was like a little Odell-esque. His teeth were still coming in. He still had his baby teeth. And he was in the spotlight from then on. We've all had our eyes on him since then, which is crazy. That 92-point game was the 5th highest scoring total in the U.S. by one player in the last 25 years. That is incredible. And instead of doing what Lonzo Ball did, right? Instead of going to Kentucky or UCLA or whatever, he bounced. Instead of going to college, he then went to Lithuania, to the other side of the earth.
Yeah, with Jello.
With Jello, exactly. Which was a crazy story, how that whole thing went out. I think that the coach was like selling meat out of his trunk or something. The head coach was a fucking madman.
Yeah, and then LeVar pushed him out, obviously.
LeVar got that coach out quick. Yeah, it was crazy. And then he ended up playing, I think, 18 games in Australia.
Yeah.
So when you leave the country and don't go the traditional college route, people are not really watching your games. It's hard to get that stream from Lithuania, right? You couldn't exactly tell at that point whether LeVar was insane, whether he made the right decision, whether he was off the reservation. Who knew, right? You had the big baller shoes, the explosive interviews on First Take, and when he went crazy against Christine Leahy on the herd and like mansplained her. All of that was creating this tense drama around the family that we couldn't really tell and decipher how that was going to impact his sons, right?
Yeah.
He said, all 3 of my sons are going to make it pro. He had these crazy proclamations. That came true, by the way. He said
barely,
barely. He said he could play and beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. I mean, it was a sideshow for a while.
Undefeated, never lost.
The whispers on LaMelo were not good. Everybody said that this kid's a me guy. All the critics are depicting him as this like this like glorified Harlem Globetrotter hot dog who pulls up from anywhere, gives you these highlights, and doesn't help teams win. It's crazy. He's like flying all over when he was with Lithuania, all over to London and Berlin. Like they were on this traveling circus tour, playing only 17 games in Australia. And the book on LaMelo was that he was lazy, that he threw up too many shots, and he was just not built for the NBA, right? So much that was his brand, and that was the assumption of who he was, that his current head coach, James Borrego, was super sus on Melo. He was like, it's what you hear, it's what you read, it's what's on the internet. It's like, I don't know about this kid, right? But what was lost in this, all of this perception, because again, like we say, storylines drive everything. That perception becomes reality, and that perception changes people's decisions, right? The Timberwolves, it was a sure thing. And they were like, no. What's lost in that perception is that LaMelo Ball became the 4th player in NBL history to record back-to-back triple-doubles. That was the first person, he was the first person since 2009 to do that, by the way. They changed the rules to 40 minutes a game, and no one had done that ever since except for LaMelo. This is an 18-year-old kid balling against grown men and giving them the business. The business. And because the Wolves, like I said, have the worst talent evaluators in the business, they are legitimately the worst, they were scared. Oh my God. Storylines, baby. No real scouting, just ripping shit from the headlines like this LaMelo kid, I don't know. Maybe it's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe it's all highlights. Maybe it's all storylines. And remembering that Lonzo Ball, we can call him a bust at 2. There was other players like Jason Tatum that they could have taken over him. Fox, and on and on. And Lonzo and LaMelo have got to be the exact same player, right? No. Just because they're brothers? Like, no, that's wrong. They're different players with different games, with different personalities and different skill sets. Wolves were scared of the reaction that another bust would bring them, like especially one like LaMelo, with all of this chatter around him. So who did they draft? Someone that has never gotten any media chatter at all. And Ant Edwards. No headlines. This kid from the University of Georgia, athletic and explosive, but certainly not on any of our radars. I mean, goodness gracious, he came out of nowhere. Yes, he was the quote-unquote consensus number 1, but that happened pretty quick. And then the Warriors have Clay, so they don't want to draft LaMelo.
Right.
Because they don't really know what to do with 3 guards, even though that would have been perfect for them. Ugh. So they draft James Wiseman. A long-term, we'll call him a long-term project with a very low floor. And who knows what his ceiling is. And I tell you what, holy shit did the Hornets get lucky. LaMelo just falls into their laps. And with no training camp, very little time for him to gel with his teammates, no structure put into place because of COVID, LaMelo is just thriving. This is a crazy stat. In the 9 games that LaMelo has started this year, so that's 9 out of 30.
Okay.
He's averaging 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 45% from the field, 44% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line.
Let's go, baby.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Is that good?
I'd say it's pretty good.
I'd say that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He's the youngest player in NBA history with the triple-double. Not Kobe, not LeBron, not KG, just LaMelo. And the world said, LaMelo, you can't shoot. I'd say 44% from 3 means he can shoot. He can shoot really well.
Yes.
He's 6'6", and he's probably going to grow another 2 inches. That is terrifying. He's a nightmare for defenses because he has handles, he has court vision, he has size, and an uncanny ability to find that open man, no matter where they are, no matter where he is, in traffic, out of traffic, men draped all over him, and somehow he finds them.
He's got so many different ways to find them. Like, that's the thing. He has so much in his bag. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. This LaMelo Ball is why Malik Monk, why P.J. Washington are playing the best that they've ever played in their NBA career. Malik Monk had 36 in one game. That was new.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think was passing him the ball? Do you think he was creating his own shot? Absolutely not. We saw that Malik Monk can't create his own shot. Yeah. He's getting that. Those buckets are coming because LaMelo is finding him. That is why Scary Terry is still averaging 17 points a game off the bench. They paid Scary Terry the bag, and LaMelo was like, you're on the bench, homie.
Yeah.
I am taking that starting job.
He hit that game winner the other night, though.
He did. It is what has resurrected Gordon Hayward's career. This is insane. The Hornets are making 315 passes per game, second only to the 76ers, and are top 5 in fast break points.
Okay.
They lead the league in assists. Oh, my God. And even though he came off the bench for most this season, his passes per minute are only behind Sabonis, Jokic, Simmons, and Draymond Green. That kid loves to distribute the rock. I mean, Sabonis, Simmons, and Jokic are known as distributors. And Green. They're known as big men that love to pass, right?
Yeah.
Team as a whole, after being in the depths of hell for a very long time, fucking 6th in the East. Playing some of the most fun basketball that we see this year. Largely, why? Because of LaMelo. When was the last time that you could say that the Hornets were exciting?
There was that one year where they had Big Al, where they made like sort of a run.
Remember they had CP3? Remember they had CP3 before Michael Jordan took over? That was fun. Yeah. And then they changed teams and changed cities and then turned into the Pelicans and then back to the Hornets. And it was like a whole...
Baron Davis.
Baron Davis was fun. I liked that team. Oh, Larry Johnson. Grandmama.
Yeah, David Wesley.
I mean, that was a long-ass time ago. Yeah. I was a child then. I was a child.
Yeah.
I think I was like 7, 8?
I was young.
So now everyone on LaMelo who was shit-talking him has changed their tune, haven't they? You have grizzly coaches and guys who never give out praise. Talent evaluators who are tight-lipped and good at their jobs, gushing over LaMelo. You have Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, Tom Thibodeau, Rick Carlisle, all gushing for him. These are not the kind of guys that you see gassing up players on other teams. They're like, yeah, he's a nice player. These people are saying, oh, no, he's got the gift. This kid has it. The guy who was forecasted to be a selfish hot dog chucker, a professional stat getter, and now you're hearing Tibbs saying, yeah, this kid's got the rare thing about him. The only one who's not surprised is LaMelo himself. What did LaMelo say after his triple-double against the Hawks, Marty?
Yeah, no, I loved this. He said, I've been doing this ever since I was 3, so it comes quite easy to me, for real. I played a lot of 21 when I was growing up.
I fucking love this kid. Oh, my God. Everyone doubted him from the time he was 14 years old. He's been in the spotlight since he was a child. And every step of the way, he just continues to prove everybody wrong. How can you not love that? Not one person now has a bad word to say about him. We talk about joy in the last segment, how basketball is supposed to be fun. No one looks like they're having more joy out there than LaMelo Ball. It's crazy. You want an example of what a leader and a player 19-year-old LaMelo Ball is? Terry Rozier, a guy that has been competing for minutes with him, hit a game winner against the Warriors on Saturday night. And who was the first player to run across the court to give a huge hug and embrace, jumping all over Terry Rozier? That was LaMelo. When Draymond Green got teed up, kicked out of the game, LaMelo's just losing his mind. He loves this game. Loves this game. Not only is LaMelo the Rookie of the Year, he is the steal of the draft. Probably the first home run draft pick that the Hornets have had in the Jordan era. And he just might fuck around and change the future of this franchise and Jordan's legacy as an NBA owner as a result. And that is not hyperbole. Love this kid.